Hey everyone, it's Eric Pook, Managing Director here at Cirrus Consulting Group, your dentist office lease negotiation firm. Purpose of today's video is specifically on strategies and tactics for winning the lease negotiations. We, of the over 12,000 successful negotiations we've done, one of the constant questions we get are how? How can I negotiate? How can I get a better result? And what can I do differently this time because I wasn't able to get any success in my last negotiation, or the landlord just completely shut me down and said take it or leave it. So I wanted to walk through the Cirrus process wheel that we had helped to work through with 26 years worth of intellectual property. So first and foremost, as you can see, is to gather all the information. This is critical. If you do not have a digital version of your lease, and one that is not only signed by you but also countersigned by the landlord, then your copy isn't worth the paper it's written on or the digital paper it's written on. Very important that you have not only the original lease that might go back to 1984, but all the addendums, riders, exhibits, or renewals throughout the entire process, all the way through the time that even you might have acquired the practice. Because if you acquired it, you would have just assigned the lease from the previous doctor. So very important, number one, is to get all the information, a digital copy of everything, because each and every one of those dictates your responsibilities in the space. Number two is to take a deep breath and think about your goals and objectives. What are you really trying to accomplish in your upcoming lease renewal? Is it just financial? Is it just base rent? Or are there some other significant traps or liabilities that might be hidden in your lease? Are there a personal guarantee? Are you looking to sell your practice at some point within the next 5 to 10 years? Does the landlord have a demolition or right to relocate your practice with as little as 30 days notice? What's most important to you that you want to see as an end goal with your lease negotiation? So number three is then having it professionally reviewed. Read it, right? For those of you that don't enjoy reading the lease, which is many of us, please make sure that you do have someone to professionally review it for you. Help to look at some of the things you might have missed. If you're to sell the practice, are you liable even after you've sold, right? Do you have to return it to pre-dental condition after you give back the keys at the end? These are the type of things you need to be aware of to determine how bad is it today, or how good is the lease, and what are your priorities as a result. Number four is to get the data, right? Reach out to a commercial real estate partner, right, such as ourselves, that will be able to pull up some of the proprietary real estate reports, some basic demographics, rental rates, vacancy rates, etc., as well as a comparison to other deals we might have done in the area to help ensure that we're paying fair and equitable market price. Number five is, again, thinking through what we call the carefully choreographed game of chess, right? How do we want to structure the initial ask? How do we want to propose some of these changes to the landlord? And what do we want to do to think 3-4 steps ahead to get those end results? So unfortunately, that's the first 5 steps. What most doctors do are, shoot, my lease is coming up for renewal. You know what? I better just call my landlord. And unfortunately skip those 5 key critical steps and start jumping right into, and hey, let's talk about rent. Okay, sign here. And we've just missed an incredible opportunity to negotiate a new 10-year term with 2 5-year options to help protect yourself and the practice to make sure that there's long-term continuity and predictability. So once we're starting to negotiate, good to negotiate all the financial components. There's 7 major financial components, especially with a new start, that should be negotiated. Let it be base rent, annual increase, common area maintenance, landlord work, right, a fixturing, free rent, all sorts of elements there that could be important to help align the financial benefit to your long-term objectives. And then number 7 is to negotiate all the business clauses. What's in that 56 and a half other pages of stuff other than the first half of the lease in terms of base rent? And why is that in there? What impact does that have if there's a global pandemic? What impact does that have if we can no longer operate? What happens if we're in default? What happens if we want to sell the practice? What happens if we want to stay? right? Are the options transferable if we sell the practice? All these type of things we need to be focused on to ensure that we get a great result. And last but not least, we need to make sure that we get a final form lease agreement that you're satisfied with, where you're signing, the landlord signing, right? It's agreed, and we can lock in a great solid concrete foundation, because the lease either creates a concrete foundation to build the successful practice upon, or a crumbling shell that can cost tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars of traps down the line if you're forced to relocate the practice or if you're unable to sell, right? Amongst many others. So those are the top strategies and tactics for winning lease negotiations. My name is Eric Pook with Cirrus Consulting Group. For those of you that have any questions about their lease or concerns, I would encourage you all to email us at info@cirrusconsultinggroup.com, right? And we'd be happy to assist. Thank you very much. Have a great day.